Another beautiful morning. Yesterday's project was I scalped the lawn down to 1 inch, dethatched, sweeped it up, overseeded. Now I'm watering it every day with my traveling water sprinkler. Let's look at today's project. So last year I cut down this huge oak tree that was dead. I got it flush to the ground and I let the roots in that die, and then I thought I'd wait till this fall, which is now, to try to dissolve the trunk. So I bought some of this stump remover from Spectracide. It's basically granules, and according to the directions, you drill a number of 1 inch holes. You fill the holes up with the granules. You pour in hot water to dissolve the granules. And you repeat the process a few times. Between 4 and 6 weeks later, it's supposed to be pretty well dissolved. We'll see how that works. So the directions show to use make the holes 1 inch wide, 12 inches deep. I decided I'm going to start with a 3/8 inch bit, and I have an extender on my drill here. I'll mark it at 12 inches with some tape. I'll drill down with the 3/8 in each of the holes, kind of like a pilot hole, and then I'll finish up with the 1 inch, and we'll go from there. Well, it's been 4 weeks or so. My plan is to burn this stump down. As I cut the bottom out of a garbage can, I have it so it'll rest over the stump. I'm going to pour kerosene down each of the holes, soak them for a little while, try to get that kerosene to soak in for an hour or better. Just keep refilling the holes. Put the garbage can over top. I got that lid kind of on its own little hinge so that I can adjust the flow of air coming out. The little channels between the bricks is for controlling the air going in. I got a bunch of scrap wood I'll start with to get the first set of coals going. I got a lot of firewood that I can backfill, and give it some time. Hopefully this will burn down, and we'll get it burned down a few inches and be able to then put our topsoil on and reseed this fall still. Let's get started. Alright, I filled all the holes with kerosene. I also made an X with the chainsaw. Thought I'd get some down deep in there, have it burn from the center out. But all the holes are holding their fluid, so we'll give it some time and filling back up, then we'll get started. Alright, so the next morning I've given it a whole night for the kerosene to soak in. You can tell even at the bottom of some of the holes. Maybe you can't tell. There's still fluid down in there, but it's pretty much soaked in on all the other ones. Thought I'd start off with a bag of the charcoal. It'll be less smoky in the neighborhood, get less looks and complaints from the neighbors. It's about 7:30 in the morning. And we'll see how long this goes for. I decided I'll just probably put the can over top of it, and I'll use one brick to one edge there if I need ventilation below, and we'll just let it burn down all day. Alright, got the whole bag of charcoal down there. That should give a nice even distribution of the heat as it burns its way down. I'll be curious to see how long it lasts before the charcoal's gone. I think I'll sprinkle on a bunch of kerosene on top of this, make it easier to start, and go from there. See, I got a gap down there for the air. Dribbled in a bunch of kerosene in there. I'm pretty far away from any structures, so I'm not worried about having a water hose out here. Alright, I put the bag in there, soaked it with a little bit of kerosene. That should get it going. We'll see if it maintains. Kerosene obviously not as volatile as gasoline, but we'll see if we can get her going here. It's hot. Well, it's only been 20 minutes. What I like about this is there's absolutely no smoke inside. It's super red hot. It's definitely burning the perimeter, even on the outside of the trunk. It's so hot. It's getting some of the pieces that the can doesn't cover, and can't really see too well inside there because it's so damn hot, but pretty pleased so far. Alright, it's been 4 hours. Still pretty hot. Not sure what's going on at the very bottom, but it's still pretty hot. Alright, I added a bunch of starter wood, kind of supplement the charcoal, and we'll check back in another 4 hours. Well, the charcoal burned all the way down, so I filled it up with some soft woods, scrap pieces that I showed earlier, and since the ash at the bottom was filling out. It was kind of choking the airflow in, so I propped it up with one brick here, and so obviously it's burning extremely hot with the new wood that's in there. I'm sure this will turn some of that into coals, and it'll help continue burning down the tree stump here. Still can't tell exactly what it's doing underground, but I think this will be, I'll let this burn down until it burns itself out, and then we'll do a inspection of it at the end here. It's about, I started the whole thing this morning at 8 o'clock. I filled it up with the dry wood at about noon. It's now 3 o'clock. Well, it's the next morning. We got a pretty big downpour, about 1/4 inch of rain last night. That's pretty much snuffed out any burning that was going on. It was pouring down pretty hard. But let's open it up here and see what we have. Alright, I'm going to clear away the ashes and see how far it went down. Well, there are some coals there, but you can tell it didn't do real good. It's pretty surprising, because it was probably went 12 hours, but just never penetrated very far down. I'll get rid of the rest of these hot coals here, and we'll take a closer look. Well, you can tell it didn't do real good. I'm not sure what to think. It's must be that you just couldn't get enough oxygen down to the center of it to get any real flame going. Even the strong heat in the center, you know, only dropped it down maybe 3 inches at the very center. That's not going to be enough. I might have to go to plan B. All right.